New technologies company Moscow represents Aeroaqua, its own plant for production of water from the atmosphere. Today, the main source of fresh water on our planet is river, lake, artesian well water and desalinated seawater. At the same time, if there are 1,200 square kilometers in all river beds, the amount of water at any given time in the atmosphere is 10 times bigger. Annually, over 500,000 cubic kilometers evaporate from the land and ocean surface, and the same amount then falls as precipitation. In the atmosphere, water refreshes 45 times during the year, and the condensate quality for most areas of the planet is high enough, because it has few toxic substances in it. Currently, the largest source of clean water, atmosphere, is almost never used. At the land surface, the global average absolute humidity is 11 grams by square meter. Many countries in the torrid zone suffer from a lack of fresh water, although its content in the atmosphere is considerable. For example, in Djibouti, there is practically no rain during the year, while the absolute humidity in the surface layer varies from 18 to 24 grams by square meter. Today, there is a complex problem related to the lack of fresh water in the world. In a large number of countries, the consumption of drinking water, not only by people but also by an agricultural sector, increases dramatically. The territories of 36 countries in the world include arid regions, and 11 countries are 100% arid regions: Turkmenistan, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, Oman, Djibouti, etc. It's also necessary to take into account a large number of islands and remote areas where people live, but there are no natural sources of fresh water. The most striking example is the island of Cyprus, where rain and imported water is used for life support. At the same time, a number of regions with the freshwater shortage increases every year. This is the result of the human aggressive economic activities. The use of irrigation in agriculture, the growth of industrial use of freshwater resources, and finally, deforestation leads to the pollution and disappearance of freshwater open sources. Sometimes arid and desert areas reach sea and ocean coasts, which creates a paradoxical situation. A large amount of water is so close, but this water is salt and unsuitable for drinking. Some of this water is finely divided in the air, and there is no way to get it under normal conditions. One of the ways to solve the water shortage problem in arid regions is the desalination of the sea or salt water from the underground sources with the use of distillation method, principle of reverse osmosis and electrodialysis. Today, a great number of different stationary and ship desalinating plants is being developed and operated. The freshwater production grows continuously and rapidly. In the countries where the freshwater production is limited, the desalination plants are being introduced. The seawater is being desalinated and given for the people's consumption, and the salt concentrates are thrown back to the sea. The use of such plants led to the large material costs and environmental pollution. The salt concentration increases in these regions, which lead to the extinction of flora and fauna. The research intensity and production complexity demands for its maintenance a significant number of qualified professionals who may be lacking in developing countries. And salaries of Western experts are so high that they increase the cost of produced water dramatically. The specialists of the Novaya Technology New Technologies company found an original problem-solving approach. The plant operation is based on the water condensation principle with the deliberate creation of the dew point conditions. The airflow is created by the forcing fan and then delivered to the process intensification block, where the air is warmed up, additionally moistened up to the required level, and ionized. After that, the airflow successfully passes through the flat hollow perforated plates where the coolant circulates. Condensed water flows from the plates to the first tank. from which it is partially delivered to the process intensification block for the spraying, and the remainder flows into the water collecting tank, from which it is delivered to the filtration and mineralization block up to the consumer level. The Aeroaqua plant is intended to produce water at the air temperature of 25–55 degrees Celsius and the relative humidity of 40 to 100%. The plant productivity at 25 degrees Celsius and the relative humidity of 60% is 1 square meter per 24 hours. One of the key requirements when designing the Aeroaqua plant is usability and low maintenance. Due to this approach, the equipment does not require any special training for the operators, and the plant maintenance, along with the filtration and mineralization block change, is carried out by the company's specialists no more than twice a year. With the help of this plant, we get potable water that is directly suitable for drinking. The plant is modernized in order to increase the unit capacity. You can get water from the air almost anywhere, in any part of the world. The water from the air is usually not contaminated with the foreign particles. Different emergencies resulted from the natural and man-made disasters create great problems of providing the population with water. As the participants of the rescue operation in Thailand in 2004 after the tsunami and in Haiti in 2009 after a powerful earthquake admitted, the biggest problem was to provide victims with clean drinking water. That was partly solved by the delivery of the bottled water to these areas by air. However, it did not solve the problem of water supply to the full extent, and consequently it caused social tensions. The use of the Aeroaqua plant under such conditions makes it possible to provide the 24-hour drinking water supply at different points of the rescue operation and placement of evacuees and victims. To do this, the developers provide for a mobile vehicle-based versions of the plant for the needs of the Ministry of Emergency Situations. Another promising area of the plant for the water obtainment from the atmospheric air is different marine and ship equipment. It will allow not only to provide ship's crew with drinking water, but also, due to dehumidification of air coming to the interior premises, to create more comfortable conditions for people and electronics operation. The Aeroaqua plant produces from 1 to 2 square meters of water per 24 hours. Power consumption is from 3 to 8 kilowatts. Mass is 2 tons. HWD 1.5 by 1.5 by 2 meters. Plant design provides the productivity increase through the connection of the additional modules, where precipitation of water from the air occurs. The plant installation on the different ships and at the natural or man-made disaster sites is provided. The Novaya Technology New Technologies company will carry out the installation and commissioning of the plant at the point of use, will train personnel and conduct periodic maintenance. The Novaya Technology New Technologies company offers the concerned organizations a mutually beneficial cooperation, including dealer functions in the region.